Hello everybody, and well, oh, that's the wrong screen. Let's turn some sound up, hang on. There we go. We know what we're doing, honestly. There we go. Oh look, now I've lost my cursor. What a disaster, I've been off for a week. It's like I've never been here. That's too loud. Oh dear God. Let's get off that one. Let's get to Helican. There, that's a bit quieter. There we go. Yeah, round 4, believe it or not, of the Porsche Cup Series 50 from RR Leagues. We're here at Silverstone today. It's been raining all week in the practice server, and yet here we are, race day, and the boys have got a nice dry circuit. In fact, look at that. Drifting for the cameras. Pair 2-2 saw there. Free practice just coming to an end. Putting on a bit of a show for the fans. Nice to see. Well done, Pair. You can see they're in practice. Savvy Pinsack there out in front. Half a second ahead of Camiletto, 2-2 saw and Pavlicek. One name you'll notice missing off there. Almeida de Kaiser. One of the front runners unfortunately can't make tonight due to personal commitments. So that's left everything else open.
Green light,
The rest of the check. Let's just fade out the music. There we go. That's that done. And here we go. For round 4 of the Porsche Cup. As I said, championship wise, it is pretty tight at the top, so tight in fact that I can't even see because my iPad's just died with more details on it, which is perfect. I think what it is, since I've had this, I must have had a COVID jab, my first COVID jab last week, was a little bit ill, I'm not going to lie, and ever since then, my brain has been on a different planet. Not quite with it. Can you tell I'm buying time here? Yeah, not quite with it. Took a bit of a hit for a couple of days. I was shaking so much. I thought I had early onset Parkinson's. But as it turns out, better now. It was just a couple of days of being smashed in the face. Everyone said, your first jab will be fine. Wait till the second one. And now I've had my first jab. I am dreading the second one. Right, okay, let's have a look. Championships, here we go. Finally got the thing up. Yeah, so as I said, what with travel this week and a bit of COVID inaction, unfortunately all those fancy graphics our design team had to social isolate from me, going to quarantine, and therefore we haven't got any graphics today. So you've just got my lovely dulcet tones. All right, here we go. So yeah, Almeida de Kaiser leads the championship, but is absent tonight on 3.95, just 1 point behind him after his absolutely blistering performance last time out at Zandvoort. Ralph Arella 3.94, 2 wins for him last time out. Was absolutely on fire, was Ralph. Jack Camiletto quick around Zandvoort, but obviously not as quick as Arella and de Kaiser. He's in third place on 3.26. So mental arithmetic, 68 points behind Ralph. Remember, 100 points or a win per race. Oh no, and we've got a fatal error. This is going to crash as soon as I click OK, so bear with me for a second, guys. No, maybe not. No, we're good. We're all good. I had to hold my breath for a second. Yeah, where were we? So, yeah, Jack Camiletto. Sorry, I'm just doing a little bit of things in the background. Jack Camiletto on 3.26. Savvy Pinsack, he missed the last race, but having competed in the first few, where are we, Zavy? Won obviously the first race of the championship over at Zolder. A bit of a problem with round 2, a bit of a on-track incident means he did not finish race 2, unfortunately, or race 2 of round 1, and then 2nd and 3rd at Barcelona, and then missed last week at Zandvoort. So watch out for Dawe. He is obviously pretty quick. Currently sits in 4th in the championship. Dawe, fairly consistent all the way out, was fantastic in race 2 at Zandvoort last week. Came 2nd. Really challenging De Kaiser there at the end was Dawe. Challenging Arella at the end was Dawe, but couldn't quite get close to him. But impressive from Dawe nonetheless. He sits in 5th, 263. Pair 2 who we're looking at now, and we've been looking at for a while. So let's see if we can reset our Unreal Engine. See if we can swap him over. No offence, Pair, but you know, sponsorship and all that, these guys are losing out millions by not having their sponsors on TV. Still not picked up, bear with me guys. The wonders of ACC. Let's hope that's got it. No, it hasn't. Bear with me again. Ba, 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 ba. What a disaster. What a disaster.
Green light, go, go, go.
There we go. Back in the game. We'll just get to the helicam because that's too loud. There we go. Where were we? Dawe, 5th place, 263. Do keep up. Pair 2 saw in 6th, 257. 6 points behind Dawe. Very consistent throughout. Top 10 finisher apart from that first race at Zandvoort last time out, but all the way through consistently scoring 50s and 60 points. Season there in 6th place. Pavlicek there in 7th. Radek's had some weird old results. Was 3rd in the first race at Zandvoort and then struggled home last after a few incidents in race 2. But all the way through 7th, 14th, 4th, 8th, 3rd and 16th. So Radek a little bit inconsistent but very quick on his day, as we know. Bernat Civet back there in 8th. Ryan Leach, leader of the AM Championship, down in 9th. Again, really consistent. A load of top 10 finishes. So Ryan's looking to take away that AM Championship. He's on 224. His nearest challenger for the AM Championship, just to get a bit of context, Callum Morgan down there in 168. So some 60 odd points, 56 points behind. Yeah, that's good. 56 points behind Ryan. So that can turn around pretty quickly. But yeah, Callum 168. He's going to have to put his socks up a little bit to get up there. Anthony Pellicano as well. He's a quick boy in his day. He's had a bit of a few unfortunate races recently. So he's down in 16th on 161. And Antonio Deliver as well in the AM Championship further down. So those guys battling it out for that. And let's just go on to the Team Championships, because we all know we love those. Team 77, Ralph Rellett, Simon Finningham. After Ralph's fantastic performance last week at Zandvoort, they currently sit in 2nd place, 767 points. Just 4 mental arithmetic, 33, 40, 44 points behind Paradigm Shift, who are on 811. That's Camiletto and Pavlicek. Those two really battling it out for the Team Championship. And you may just think the Team Championship something that goes on. Trust me, no. It means a lot to these guys. Arella Fillingham in 77, Camiletto and Pavlicek in Paradigm Shift. Those two, those four rather, will be taking this very, very seriously, and every point will matter to them. So watch out for those guys. Virtual Racing Girona. That's Tutu Saw, and I believe that is no, not Pinsack. I think that's Mark Oliveira, but he is in the server today. So that's those guys. Pinsack and Civet there in 4th for the top team, Virtual Racing Girona. So the daddy team of the Virtual Racing Girona squad, running a little bit behind their siblings, just 11 points behind them in fourth. So Paradigm Shift 77, Racing Girona 2 and Racing Girona 1. You're 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Pit Stop UK, bring Aaron Cleaver and Ryan Leach along to the party. They're about 200 points behind the podium spots, so they'll be looking to improve from there. Had a bit of bad luck in the first couple of races, but a bit better last time out at Zandvoort, so Aaron and Ryan will be looking to increase their points haul here today. Anyway, enough of the team championship. Sorry, I've been reading that and you've been watching Xavi sat in the pits. Who else have we got out on track? Let's go and find Raul Perella. Winner last time out at Zandvoort, twice over. Here he goes, going through. No, he's been through there. Come on, cameraman, catch up. There we go. Just coming along the hanger straight. Distinct delivery of the 77 guys there with the blue and yellow rouge. You can see the kangaroo on the side there. Great shot of it. Ralph currently sat in third place in qualifying. Second off Pinsack, who looks to have this pretty much nailed on today, I've got to be honest. Right, just coming round the final corner there. I say the final corner, of course it's the final corner on the Grand Prix circuit, not for these guys. Through the tight 50 section, through that right hand kink, down the Wellington straight he goes. Ralph not on a time here, so let's go and find somebody else who is on a time. It's Jack Caminetto, you can see last time round at 2:02.595. Slight improvement to take him up to second, but still a second off Xavi Pinsack's time there, so. You can see a number of the guys in the pits as we come to the end of qualifying. Jack just come around to finish his lap, but it looks like it's going to be Xavi Pinsack who's going to take the yellow flag. Just come out there ever so quickly, but back in again. Jack comes through. Is he going to improve? He does. No, he doesn't. 2:02.7, just a tenth off his best. He'll stay in second, so your grid will be Xavi Pinsack there on pole, alongside Jack Caminetto on the front row. Arella and Pavlicek for that row 2, Fillingham and Dawe row 3, Smedegard, Cive row 4. Row 5, Cleaver and Jody Barraclough there down in 10th. Ryan Leach, Rick Berners-Lee 11, 12th. Jazz Forsberg, nice to see Jazz back in the server. Been away for some time. It's first race back in, so good on you, Jazz. Good to see you. Down there in 13th alongside pair 2 saw Mol Pelicano and Mark Oliveira there at the back in 17th place. So session's ended. The guys will be having their fingers crossed, hoping that the rain stays away. Like I said, pretty much been raining all week. And I'll be wondering and hoping and praying. Oh, and look at that. The sun is shining down, cracking the flags. And I'm not going to lie, they are going to be loving that. Virtually all week practicing in the rain, moaning that they couldn't keep the car on track. And the gods have shone their light down on them. And they've got away with it. Sunshine all the way today by the looks of it. There's the track map, you see, starting on the old start finish line. at the start finish time for the GT cars. Head up through the right hander there at Cops, through the Maggots and Beckett's twisty section there, the S's, left, right, gradually getting tighter as you go. Up the hanger straight, right hander through there, up to the Vale chicane, down the start finish straight of the new circuit, or the revised circuit. With a really fast right hand, left hand sweep towards the arena section, down the Wellington straight, and then around through Luffield, Woodcut, and on to the start finish straight. So there you go. There's your grid. I've got to be honest, I'm looking for a weather set, but I can't see it, so it'll be what it'll be. There's a view back from Ryan Leach, sat there in 11th. Jody Barraclough there in that lovely Martini chrome silver car. Next to him in 10th place on the grid there. In front of him, Aaron Cleaver in the BWT Porsche, racing for Pit Stop UK. Bernat Sivet in the lime green Porsche on the left hand side. Just in front of him you can see Dawe there in the what would you call that, olive and orange Team 77 car, with looks like it's Pavlicek in front of me. It looked like Rick Bennersley's car, but Rick's obviously behind Ryan Leach. There you go, there's a good view of the grid. Insack in first, Oliver there in 17th. Matching liveries. I'll go around for their warm-up lap. Grid slot's not really matching the cars as they drop onto the grid, but here we go. Pinsack leads them out on their formation lap. Jack Camaretto in second. You see Xavi weaving gently to warm his tyres up. Remember, a sprint race this, 30 minutes. And then there'll be another 10-minute qualifying session for race 2, which again will be another 30 minutes. In-game time will change, so it's possible that the second race will be wet. It's also possible, of course, it will be dry. But they've had one race, by the looks of it, that's going to stay dry. 6 o'clock in the evening, as you can see, in-game time, so dusk's just setting. You see it by the long shadows on the car. Northamptonshire countryside looking glorious. So the cars will go around the track 130 kilometres an hour. They need to keep in fairly close contact with the car in front. The stewards will look at it if there's any kind of misdemeanour there. You can see it's quite a big back gap there behind what looked like Aaron Cleaver. Jody Barraclough just catching up the back of Aaron Cleaver there, just taking the extra gap to get some heat into his tyres as he speeds up and slows down, gets some brake temperature in there as well. Chevy Pinsack just comes around the tight left-hander there in the arena section, and they'll now be asked to go into side-by-side formation, 2x2 as they sat on the grid for quite some time. This is quite a bit of a sector this to go around towards the start-finish straight, so any heat they've generated in the tyres likely to quickly disperse as they take their time. Just 60 miles an hour, sorry, 60 kilometres an hour. Not much quicker than you go past your local school. Certainly gives the crowd a chance to Good look at the cars. Decent crowd in here today. Obviously, social distancing and COVID regulations still in place because the stands aren't completely full, as you can see. But plenty of people out in the open watching the race today. Inset comes round. Midfield onto the start-finish straight. And they all start to line up 2 by 2. Car going into the pits there, one of the BWT UK pit stop teams, or pit stop UK teams there, so not sure who that was. Pinset comes round over the start finish line, wait for the lights to go green. Listen to the engines, watch the lights. Green they go. Great start by Jack Camiletto. Leaves Pinsack for dead. Pinsack over not even any of that as it goes through turn 1. But Camiletto is away from Pinsack. Marella up there in 3rd. David Dawe just sneaking through as they go through maggots there. So David Dawe up to 4th. And it looks like Pavlicek up to 5th. And Fillingham up to 6th. So ignore the graphic on your left hand side. Camiletto leads from Pinsack. Marella 3rd. David Dawe in 4th. Pavlicek 5th. And Simon Fillingham up to 6th. Graphics just sorting themselves out. Looks like it's Ryan Leach in the pits there at the start of the race. Looks like, yep. So as they come past the GP start finish, after that blistering start by Camiletto, leads Pinsack from Marella. It's a view from Pinsack's car. That's Camiletto in front. There's the graphic, that's the one we wanted to see. Give you an idea of the speed. So we saw Pinsack in practice about a second faster than, well, about half a second in practice, second in qualifying ahead of Camiletto. But as they go across the line, end of lap 1, Camiletto still managing to keep that advantage that he stole on the start. Goes through to lead lap 1 from Pinsack, Arella, Dawe, Pavlicek, Fillingham in 6th, from Aaron Cleaver in 7th, Barraclough up to 8th, Forsberg good start up to 9th, from Moll, Pelicano, Oliveira, cracking start from him up to 12th. Remember he was right at the back of the grid. Tutu saw up 13th. Smedegard looks like he's in the pits as they all go through, and Ryan Leach bringing up the rear there after his post-start or pre-start pit stop. We'll have to catch and see what happens to him later on. But as they go up and round that right hander and through and up towards the chicane, Camiletto really got Pinsack really biting at his heels now. Go back and have a look at Pinsack. We've got a bonnet cam. There we have. Paradigm shift car. You can just see the shift underneath the rear wing of Camiletto there. Is Pinsack going to dive that? No, I thought we might have a look up the inside, but Camiletto had that covered off. And he just leaves it out to the left-hand side there. Jack Camiletto driving expertly defensively there. Typical blocking line, so Pinsack will put that in his head. I know that Jack is immediately on the defensive. You can see how much later Pinsack brakes there as he goes in and through Woodcote And is he going to have a look down the start finish straight here? I think he might do. Really in Caminito's slipstream, pulls out, pulls back in. Arella watching brief in third. Best seat in the house for Ralph. And Jack really having to compromise his lines here to ensure Pinsack stays behind. Fortunately not compromising him too much right now. As you can see, he gets a decent drive down the hanger straight. Pinsack, Arella now getting interested in Pinsack. Through they go. Jack will stay on the inside going towards the chicane, I should imagine. In fact, no, realises he's got a bit of a gap on Pinsack here, so takes the racing line through the chicane. Oh, sorry, Pinsack just biting inside curb there, running wide. And there as well, really taking a lot of curb on the and a lot of grass as well on the inside of that fast left-hander. Wider, more racy line from Camiletto through there. And that's Radek Pavlicek back in fifth. You can just see the gap to Dawe just starting to eke out a little bit. Dawe in front of them. In front of him rather, just chasing the other three. So you can see Camiletto from Pinsack, from Arella. That's across the line. 202.8 there for David Dawe. You can just see how tentative they are through the turns, but these cars have no traction control, no anti-lock brakes. They are pure driving machines. Mid to rear engine cars as well, so a lot of weight sitting over that back axle, ready to point in front of you if you give it a chance. But out in front, Camiletto still leads from Pinsack. Pinsack a lot closer on this time round. Having a look up as close as you can get in the chicane without tasting Jack's paint. Through they go across the GP start finish. Pinsack through on Camiletto. It's only a matter of time really. Jack doing really well to defend as well as he did, as long as he did. But the pace of Pinsack was going to tell in the end, I think. And Jack will now be able to watch Xavi. I think he'll be amazed with this, just how late on the brakes Pinsack is compared to some of his other competitors. So after 4 laps this time around, Pinsack leads from Camiletto. Ralph Arella there in third from David Dawe, Pavlicek and Fillingham. So your top 6, the only 2 that have changed is obviously Pinsack and Camiletto. Going back to the grid slots they were assigned. Did Jack sneak that lead away from the line? Oh, just gets wide there. Just thought as he came out there of Beckett's. Ran a little bit wide, hit a curb. He's managed to keep the spot though. His tyres will be covered in all kinds of Northamptonshire woodland, but manages to keep the space. from Arella and Dawe, who suddenly have now got very interested. But already Pinsack 1.3 down the road ahead of this battle. Camaletto, Arella and Dawe. Told you, it's the jab. Back in the field though, Oliveira and Mol having a decent battle. Oliveira, remember, teammate of Xavi Pinsack. Got a decent lead on Pelicano too. Just saw back there in 13th. He won't want to see that. He needs to get a shift on. Just over out wide there with somebody. In fact, was that an incident? Looks like newcomer Jazz Forsberg involved there. And so Forsberg, Pelicano in the green and white car, far right of your picture now. Looking up the inside of Jazz there. Tutu saw, looks like side by side with Pelicano. Pelicano being very respectful there, making sure he gave Tutu saw room, and unfortunately that's pushed him out wide and has allowed Jody Barraclough through as well. So Forsberg, after his slight off-track excursion there, up to 10th, or down to 10th, but recovering to 10th from Tutusor, Barraclough and Pelicano. There's Rick Binnersley, star of that first race at Zandvoort last time out. Struggling around here at Silverstone. Down there in 14th place. That's Bernat Civet just behind. In fact, no, it's not. Where is Bernat Civet? That is Civet just behind it. My apologies. Ryan Leach lap down. Looks like Magnus parked the car up in the pit. So Magnus is out of the race. Back up front though. What was fairly close for second and third and fourth. Dragging Pavlicek and Fillingham into it as well. You see a big gap then behind Fillingham. That's that distinctive car of Aaron Cleaver. Excuse me. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all covered by about a second and a half. Aaron Cleaver there in 7th. Big gap then to Mol. He's got Oliveira about a second behind him. Then that Tutusor, Barraclough, Pelicano. Looks like Forsberg's dropped down a little bit there. He's now 13th. Instant there for Jazz Forsberg. But meanwhile, up top, Pinsack leads by 4 seconds now. He's really pulling the string. Here he goes through, and then this battle, second, third, and fourth. Camaletto, Arella, and Dawe. Paradigm Shift Boys second and fifth. Team 77 third and sixth so far. We're just going a little late on the brakes there. A different line. Don't think it caught in too much time. Arella this time biting the curb as they come through. So there's Xavi Pinsack, half a straight ahead of these guys. And Cleaver a bit lonely back there in 7th, but just trying to desperately tag on to the back of these 5. Camaletto, Arella, Dawe, Pavlicek and Fillingham. It's on board from Finningham. Have a check, just taking a bit of a slide on there for sight. And they go through this right-hander at Abbey, just having to really... Oh, sorry, it's Cops, my bad. I was looking somewhere else, turn around, different screen. I thought they had to slow down quite a bit there. I thought it was a bit strange, but there you go, that's why. So, through Beckett's he goes. Wanting to get on the power early, but not too early. Thank you very much. 15 minutes through we go. Camaletto, Arella having a good look. David Dawe just behind. Remember, David really quick last race at Zandvoort, last time out. Really pushed Ralph Arella all the way. I don't think anyone was going to ever threaten Ralph Arella last weekend, but fortnight ago rather. But David did try his best, and you can see Jack going very gentle on his brakes, making sure no lock-ups. The other guys a little bit more aggressive with their braking, as he just gets a little bit of a wiggle on Jack there. Didn't affect his exit too much. It's down Wellington Straight they go. Renault just dobs out of the slipstream just to make sure Jack's mirrors are still working. Around Luffield they go. And through Woodcote and across the start-finish straight. Pinsack now about, what, 8 seconds ahead? 7 seconds ahead of Camaletto. Arella just 2/10 off Jack here. Really putting the Scot under some pretty immense pressure. Dawe, Pavlicek and Finningham, close attendance. Good race for these five. Back in the field, Andre Mol being pushed by Mark Oliveira there. So he's done well to get up from 17th on the grid up to 9th. Mol doing well. Good to see Andre back with a bit of pace. He's struggling as of late, but back to somewhere, well, not near his best, but back to somewhere competitive again now. He'll kill me for saying that, but good to see. Back up front, Camaletto and Arella still going at it. Dawe and Pavlicek getting a little bit more interested as well. Here's Pavlicek. See there just how late Pavlicek was on the brakes compared to Dawe. Really got it stopped on a, well, not quite a sixpence, but maybe a €5 note. Once again they go down the Wellington Straight. Camaletto, Arella, Dawe, Pavlicek and Finningham. Gap now Pinsat to Camaletto, well over 7 seconds. 7.8 as they cross the line. And Camaletto keeping Arella at bay. And these two, what about a second now on David Dawe? Jack taking all the curb he's been allowed to go through there, and as they come out of Beckett's onto the Hanger Straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cleaver now 6 seconds or so behind these group of 5. He's trying to keep on the top of it, but just struggling to grab onto Fillingham's coattails. In the field, 2-2 Saw and Barraclough keeping close company. Pelicano as well involved in that. And paint damage on 2-2 Saw's left hand side there. Barraclough just defending that inside line from Pelicano to go through the chicane. Compromised Pelicano a little bit there, so he's just dropped off the back of Barraclough. Then they go through Abbey. Cameraman looks like he dropped his phone there. Looks like Dawe's got on the back of Arella again up front. There's Camaletto. Arella, Dawe is back on the back of on the tail of Dawe. Sorry, on the tail of Arella again. Gap up front stabilised about 8 seconds now. Pinsack from Cam. In fact, there you go. You see Pinsack already through the Maggots and Beckett's complex as Camaletto just enters. Fillingham just dropping off the back slightly. Never really been threatening Pavlicek, but certainly keeping him honest back there in 6th position. You're watching some of the best drivers that our leagues has to offer in these guys. Pinsack now has the whole straight his before Camaletto comes out there. Just go on board with Dawe. Check, just see running out wide there as he went through the I think that's Aintree they call that now. Fast left hand and kink. With Brooklands, Luffield. A quick snap of oversteer there for Dawe, but he caught it and off he goes. Chasing down Arella and Camaletto. Just dropped Pavlicek now, a couple of seconds or so back to Radek. He must have made a slight mistake because Fillingham is now right on the back of Pavlicek here. So I said Simon hadn't been challenging Pavlicek. Commentator's curse working in reverse this time, as he now finds himself right under the rear wing of the Paradigm Shift car. Remember, this is important for team points, this. If Fillingham can get ahead of Pavlicek, that'll just even up the Camaletto-Arella difference up front and keep the points fairly static as we go into race 2. But as it is at the moment, Paradigm Shift holding all the cards here. Good entry and exit there for both these guys. Pavlicek and Fillingham as they try and get onto the back of Dawe again. There goes Camaletto, Arella and Dawe. Pavlicek, Fillingham. Cleaver this time with a straight between him and Fillingham. Lonely race for Aaron there in 7th. 7.5 seconds behind Fillingham, but almost 12 seconds ahead of Andre Mol. Mol, who had Oliveira breathing down his neck. Well, Oliveira is now 9 seconds behind Mol after a mistake. Barakov and Pelicano still going tooth and nail at each other there, and Tutu saw drop back to 12th, so it must have been an error from Pear to let Barakov and Pelicano through. Jazz Forsberg still down there in 13th from Binnersley. Bernat Civet. Ryan Leach bringing up the rear. Smedegard DNF'd already. So just over 5 minutes to go. It's your leader, Xavi Pinsac, 9 seconds or so ahead of this battle between Camaletto, Arella, David Dawe. Bizarrely, as the weight comes off these cars, they burn more fuel. They get a little bit harder to drive. Fuel tank on these at the front, so some kinds of balance the cars out. It's got a full tank. As soon as the car starts losing that fuel, weight shift goes towards the rear, which may not sound ideal, and it isn't, but them's the rules. Just saw behind Pavlicek and Dawe and Fillingham. Fillingham on the outside of Pavlicek. We go through Stowe. Is he going to keep it there for the chicane? Looks like he has. It's great drive from Fillingham there. Really showing Pavlicek the way through there, and that's a nice overtake. Fillingham up to 5th, ahead of Pavlicek. Nice drive by Cy Fillingham. And now can he get some pace out of it and try and catch up to David Dawe? Currently 3 seconds up the road. And can Radek just stay with him? And so try and bring that gap down. Let's go back on board with David Dawe. Just could see the car twitch under braking there. Really having to hold on to that steering wheel to keep it as straight as he could. Arella's tyres struggling for grip there. He's just drifted out wide. And through Luffield, through Woodcote they go onto the straight. 13 laps completed. Pinsac leads Camaletto, Arella, this man Dawe. Fillingham now ahead of Pavlicek, but dropping off the back of David Dawe. Just runs wide there. Got to be careful about track limits here. 4 warnings rather, and you'll get a drive through, and that will destroy your race. So they come onto the hanger straight. Camaletto, Arella, Dawe, Fillingham, Pavlicek. You can see just dropping off this battle now. These three pulling away. Pinsac holding the pace at about 10 seconds now. His fastest lap of 2:01.8. Let's have a look at the time for David Dawe last time round at 2:03.3, so you can see where the time's going. David really getting interested in Ralph Arella, same as he did this time last race at Zandvoort, and finding that late race pace. But Arella pretty much a match for it at the moment. Something about the livery of David Dawe's car makes it look very retro. Rear quarter light looking very... Excuse me. Old hay fever cutting in there. Sorry. It looks very old school 911 at the back quarter of that. But yep, you just heard. Final lap for the leader, Xavi Pinsac. 10 seconds ahead of this battle. Camaletto, Arella and Dawe. Pavlicek's got back past Fillingham. Must have been a mistake from Si because he's dropped back quite a bit there off the back of Pavlicek. It's unfortunate for Si. Great pass into the chicane, but obviously a mistake has cost him. Cleaver though, still way back there, 12 seconds behind Fillingham, so no danger to Si in that regard. But Jack Camletto led the first part of this race from Pinsack, remember, from the line. But Pinsack eventually getting past at this part of the circuit after about 3 laps or so of Jack defending pretty stoutly. But ever since then, Camletto sat in second place. He's been hounded by Arella for pretty much all of it, but he stayed strong. And currently, Paradigm Shift sitting pretty sweet here, 2nd and 5th. So they go through Aintree and onto Wellington Straight. Having said all that though, take nothing away from this man. He comes round through Luffield, through Woodcote. Marshal's waving flags, but that's irrelevant to Xavi Pinsack. He comes through, you just see that. I think there's a fuel issue there for, looks like that is Ryan Leach there, back there in 16th. But fantastic performance from Xavi Pinsack, and as they cross the line, Camletto does indeed defend from Arella and Dawe to take second place. Great driving from Jack there, and from Ralph, and from David. 3 of them pretty much on the ball all the way round. Jack just with hazards on there just to let Ralph know it's a great drive. So Pinsack, Arella, Dawe, Pavlicek and Fillingham. And just coming around to complete his lap. In fact, he's been round already. Aaron Cleaver. There's Andre Molt. There's Andre just coming around to complete his 8th place. 9th across the line, Oliveira. Good race from him from the back of the grid, so fair play. The 2 Girona guys put in a decent performance there. That'll bring them right up the team championship. 11th was, 10th was Pelicano, 11th was Binlesley, Sive there in 12th, Arrowclough in 13th, Tutusor struggling back there in 14th, Jazz Forsberg, first race back for some time. It will take him a little bit of time to get back into the swing of things. 15th, Ryan Leach had issues at the start, so never really had a chance to get into the race in 16th. Magnus Smedegard out of the race fairly early on. So there we go. Great race from Xavi Pinsack. See if we can get hold of his car. All in the pits there. Nice shot of all the cars. And distinctive liveries from the guys designed for this series. And fair play to all of them. Although, I must be honest, I do have a soft spot for, if I can find it. No, I can't find it. I think it's Magnus Smedegard's car. It is. I do have a little soft spot for that, I must admit. Union Jack flag draped over it in a monochrome. Just wait a couple of minutes for the session to change over. Let you go and grab a cup of tea or coffee. I'll be back in a minute or so after I've wet my whistle and taken a few tablets to get rid of this hay fever. So see you in a couple of seconds. suppose I should take this time to do a little bit of admin. If you're liking the stream so far, don't forget to hit the like button for us. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do consider doing so and hitting the notification bell, and that way when we do go live with our next live stream, you'll get a notification to let you know, and you can join us live on the grid rather than watching it not live, which is good but never quite as good as watching the thing happen as it unfolds. So what have we got coming up? Well, this Sunday, round 4 of the Crew Chief Championship, those DTM cars, the 1992 BMW and Mercedes, cracking racing to watch. If you haven't been with us for the first 3 rounds, shame on you. Join us for round 4, 2 races from Hungaroring, 2 sprint races. So join us for that on Sunday, and then a week Sunday is the FRX 90 Cups, those 1990 cars, this time around Hockenheim Ring, so a little bit more space for those guys to stretch their legs in those ultimately very powerful cars.
Green light, go, go, go.
Qualifying just about to start for the second round of here at Silverstone. Just dull the music slightly. There we go. And then in 2 weeks' time, we're back with the 911 GT3 Cup cars. Next round from Snetterton. That needs to be dry, because that place in the wet will be hilarious, because everything's a 90-degree corner here, there and everywhere. And they'll need to be able to carry as much speed as they can and not go too wide, because they'll be in a lot of grass if they go anywhere wide there. So fingers crossed it's dry for Snetterton in 2 weeks' time. Our RR leaderboard, our monthly hot lap challenge, that ends tonight. So if you're watching this race live, carry on watching it, but unfortunately by the time this stream finishes, you're pretty much unlikely to be able to get a lap in around Bilsterberg in the KTMs. That was a lot of fun, very, very difficult, but a lot of fun. Let's just get back and change the session here. There we go, back to qualifying. So yeah, last chance to put your lap in for the KTM round Bilsterberg, and then we've got round 4, the July challenge, and the first time in the RR leaderboard we're going to have a multi-vehicle choice, so keep your eyes open for that one. A bit more for you speed demons next time round. Say no more than that. You get a choice of car to hammer around a circuit of choice, and VRP race room points up for grabs for the monthly winner, and also big race room points up for the fastest person, not the fastest, but the person who's covered the most amount of distance in the least amount of time at the end of it. 12 rounds, don't forget, with an Ironman Championship as well, one random person receiving 2,500 VRP just for completing all 12 rounds, so we look forward to that as well. Anyway, admin over and done with. Let's crack on with qualifying here for the second race at Silverstone. You can see sun's out, guns out again. These boys are really rolling the dice and rolling double sixes here. Cleaver taking a lot of grass there. Going through maggots. No time's up yet, no one's yet to put a lap in. Pinsack sat in the pit still. So if you're just thinking, I need one lap out and in, that should be enough. Probably just waiting for a clear track to give him the space he needs to put his time in. Mark Oliveira well into his lap. Tutu saw there just behind him. Looks like Ralph Farella behind them. So here is Oliveira, first man out of the pits. He'll be the first one to log a time. Oh, just hanging on to it there. That was great bit of control. And through Brooklands. Hit the tyre scrubbing away as he goes through Luffield. Doesn't want to do that too many times. On to the start finish straight. And comes line for 2:03.6. 2-2 sort in the pits. Morella goes through the 2:03.3 from Cive. Who else is out there? Let's have a look. That is Bernat Cive. We're watching that. Dawe just coming through to complete a lap. I thought he might be on the gas a bit too early there. It was just scrubbing out wide, but he kept it on the black stuff. Pelicano goes through, but Dawe smashes Morella's time, a 2:03.2 from, I say Arella. Pelicano, decent lap from Anthony there, 2:03.6 from Anthony Pelicano. And Pavlicek 2:02.9, so time just starting to come in as the tyres get warmed up. Ryan Leach struggled in the first race after that dive into the pit stops at the very start. Obviously he had some issue either on the formation lap or had a fuel issue. Mole goes through in 7th, Smedegard up to 6th. Around the final corner comes Ryan Leach. Going across the start finish line, and it's going to be a 2:03 flat for Ryan. Takes him just above Jody Barraclough there, 0.06 of a second quicker. But just that second cover in the top 10 so far. Camaletto popped into second there, a couple of hundredths behind his teammate Radek Pavlicek. Pinsack now out on the track. He's just going to come through and complete his lap. Arella goes quickest, ahead of Pavlicek now. 2:02.5 for Arella. Pavlicek second, Camaletto third. I'm starting to roll in now. As Pinsack goes down Wellington straight. To Brooklands, just scrubbing those tyres. Quick jab on the brakes. .202, what have you got for us, Chevy? 2:01.689. Oh my word. I'm pretty sure you can get the kettle on now and sit back and wait for pole position. Chevy Pinsack, that's a cracking lap. 2:01.689 from Chevy. This is Ralph Arella currently in second. And all of a sudden finds himself 9/10 off pole position that he currently occupied for a short while there. Camaletto now just gone a little bit quicker. Certainly tastes deja vu about all this. 2:02.3 for Arella, goes quicker. Doesn't improve after Camaletto's sterling lap there. So Pinsack from Camaletto, those two in the pits, they're done. Arella's got a chance to put this one in as well. Binnensley up to 4th. We saw Rick do this in the first race at Zandvoort last time out, where he was ultimately very, very quick in race 1 and struggled in race 2. This time reversing it. Still 1.2 off Pinsack's time, but that's no shame. Ahead of Dawe. Where is David? He's just behind Binnensley on track. Getting handfuls of opposite lock and sawing away at that wheel. Pavlicek's down in 6th, that's from Fillingham in 7th, and Aaron Cleaver in 8th. So take out the car of Binnensley that's managed to pop up in 4th, and it literally, as we were, Pinsack from Camaletto, Arella, who's in 4th, then Dawe, Pavlicek and Fillingham and Cleaver. So your top 7 in race 1 fill exactly the same spots for race 2, apart from the outlier of Rick Binnensley has popped up there in 4th. Qualifying's over, so they can complete this lap. So keep an eye out. Arella's in the pits as well. So the first 3 have done. Binnensley still out on track, but he's behind Dawe on track. Where's Pavlicek? Behind Dawe on track as well. Where's Fillingham? There's Simon. That's going to be end of size. Pelicano just off in the grass on the left hand side, so Anthony Pelicano's done. It's like Magnus Smedegaard. Oh, we're up to 11th. Who have we lost? We've lost a driver. There's Ryan Leach. Ryan Leach up there in 10th, so not one of the Pit Stop UK guys. Where's Per Tutusor? Yeah, we've lost Per Tutusor. Unfortunately, he won't be taking part in race 2. That's a shame. Unless he can rejoin the server. Dawe goes through, doesn't improve. Just slightly off his, well, 100th off his best time. Where's Pavlicek? Just coming around to finish his lap. Jumps to 4th. Nice lap from Radek Pavlicek there. So the 2 Paradigm Shift guys will be starting behind each other in positions 2 and 4 on the grid, left hand side of the grid. But Pinsack will lead. Or Pinsack will take pole rather. Might not lead. We saw what happened with Camaletto last time round. So yeah, as we were front row of the last race, Pinsack from Camaletto. Row 2, Arella, and this time Pavlicek takes 4th place. Binnensley after a cracking lap there in 5th. You just see their site struggling with fuel in race 1, but he made it. Qualifying 2's over, so we'll just wait for the session to swap over. So yeah, where were we? Arella and Pavlicek on row 2. Binnensley, I say a great lap there on row 3, ahead of Dawe. Excuse me, Fillingham and Cleaver will round out row 4. Row 5, nice lap from Anthony Pelicano there, ahead of Ryan Leach in 10th place. Bernat Civet there in 11th from Magnus Smedegaard in 12th. Oliveira again starting back down the field in 13th from Andre Mol. Jody Barraclough, teammate there of Mol, back there in 15th from Jazz Forsberg. And we saw Tutusor, or we didn't see Tutusor even put a lap in. Down there in 17th place, we'll wait to see if he takes the grid or not. So Tutusor's car, the back of the grid. So he is there. Good to see. 17 drivers on the grid. Just have a look at the rundown to turn 1. This is a look from Jack Camaletto's car. So it's quite a short run, as you can see. Remember, the lights went green well after Pinsack and Camaletto passed them last time round. So expect another close run down into turn 1 between those two. I'm sure Xavi Pinsac won't want to get beaten down there again. Even though he knows he's got the pace to ultimately make his way to the front if that's the case. But I'm pretty sure anyone competitive knows you don't want to get beaten away like that again twice in a row. Once bitten, twice shy and all that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But it was a blistering start last race from Jack Camaletto, has to be said. Just to have a look in our chat on Discord, just see if anything was said you might be interested in. Let's have a look. Yeah, Jack Camaletto just saying those 5 guys at the front, 6 guys at the front, including Cy Fillingham, of course. For epic racing between those guys, which it was. Not much more than the cigarette paper between them all as they raced around for half an hour there. Ryan confirming that he did in fact struggle with fuel here at the start, so that's why he was in the pits at the start. Fillingham actually saying he had to coast on that last lap there. And there we go, 30-second call. Engine starting.
20 seconds.
Just swap the camera there to Xavi Pinsac. He'll be leading around on the second race formation lap.
10 seconds.
If you look in the top left hand of the screen there, you can see it will swap around from the name of the driver, their 3-letter moniker, to the position they currently hold in the race. So you can see there it will flash Pinsac and 001 to show he's in first position. So round Xavi Pinsac goes. We'll give him a bit of TV time because he doesn't get much in the race because he's normally out in front. And you can see there the blue and green livery cars of the Paradigm Shift boys. So same liveries, just with different accents, different main colours. If you count that front car main colour, same orange rear end, just with different flashes. Nice liveries from those 2 guys. And the Team 77 car Varela there with the yellow accents, as opposed to Fillingham that has the orange accents. Let's go and quick look at sorry, orange. That's pink, Martin. Cerise. So that's Fillingham's car. And we know the Arella car is there with the yellow flashes. In between them, Rick Bennersley in that nice orange Jägermeister liveried car. Cracking qualifying lap from Rick. Obviously took half an hour for him to get his eye in, but now it's in. Watch out, boys. Rick in very good form in Assetto Corsa Competizione, although has been driving the GT3s and GT4s, so these Porsche Cup cars are challenged at the best of times. So once he's realised that they don't stop, they don't turn, or if they do turn, they turn too much. I say half an hour getting his eye in. Somehow think that he must have missed out on a little bit of practice, Rick, because so to struggle like he did in the first qualifying and to put a lap in he did to come 5th, that shows he's up to pace now. Ahead of David Dawe there in 6th, so David will want to try and make a decent start and get out of the way of those cars in front of him. Fillingham there in 7th, Cleaver 8th, Pelicano is back there in 9th. Let's have a look at Anthony's car because it's very pretty. Lots of nice graphics there. Sponsored by AMD by the looks of it. Little Ryzen logo on the rear. Down they come. I'll say go 2 by 2 to start the warm up. procedures. Side by side. Remember, the cars aren't ghosted at this stage. Any little touches and knocks will count against the cars, so they want to keep it close. They don't want to keep it too close. So just leaving a gap here to Pinsack. He'll climb up onto the back of Xavi as they go. And start finish straight. Here we go. Two by two by two. Dawe just leaving a bit of a gap there so he can see what's going on in front of him. Watch for the lights. Just appear in your top left hand of your screen. Watch for them to go green. There we go.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Pavlicek left standing and everyone else swallowing that. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there from, looks like it was Aaron Cleaver on Pavlicek. That's just pushed him wide. But again, Camaletto getting the jump on Xavi Pinsack as they go through maggots for the first time. Xavi Pinsack getting mugged off the line again by Camaletto. So Camaletto from Pinsack. Morella there in third. Pavlicek back up to fourth. Let's go back to the Pavlicek battle. Looks like that's Aaron Cleaver in fifth. Fillingham in sixth. Rick Binnensey there in seventh. Just got Ryan Leach behind him. David Dawe looks like he missed out on the start there. Smedegard almost takes the back of him out there. But up front, Camaletto from Pinsack. Morella just having a look at Pinsack here. As down they come. So go through Abbey Farm. And the big right. Whoa! Pinsack. I said he was late on the brakes. That was too late. Just go Jack Camaletto. Little nudge there. Camaletto lucky he didn't go straight on there into the gravel. Just wonder though if that's cost him his line through there as Pinsack comes down the Wellington straight side by side with Camaletto. Hard on the brakes. And Pinsack's through. And Camaletto though trying to switch back on him. But Pinsack's away unfortunately. Camaletto just getting a bit bogged down there as he came out of Luffield, and that's allowed Morella through. So Morella up to second from Camaletto. Pavlicek there in fourth. Decent from Pavlicek. Remember, he got mugged on the line. I think whatever happened in the melee that he caused has protected him there a little bit. So Pinsack leads from Morella. Camaletto in third. Pavlicek fourth. Cleaver in fifth. Nice start from Aaron Cleaver. Smedegard in sixth. Great start from Magnus. Pelican up to seventh. Ryan Leach eighth. Civet ninth. Oliveira 10th. David Dawe finds himself way back in 13th with Binnensey there in 12th. So those two qualifying well up the grid and obviously getting involved in some first lap shenanigans. Let's go and find them. Come on, Mr. Cameraman. So there's Binnensey and Dawe. 12th and 13th. Simon Fillingham as well down there in 14th. So it'll be too late to look at the start again now, unfortunately, but just see if they've got a replay of that. I'm guessing they haven't. No, unfortunately, I haven't got the start, so Dawe, and look at Binnensey here on the inside, gets it done. So Dawe through. Fillingham also having a look as well. So go through the loop in this revised part of the circuit. Down they go. Wellington straight. Dawe this time. ahead now of Binnersley. Fillingham as well trying to keep up. Behind them you just see Forsberg, Barrowclough and Moll in the rear. So everyone away for the second race. Up front though, I had a bit of a change of plan. An error from Pinsak's allowed Arella to get through, so Pinsak not quite the machine we thought he was. Arella through on him from Pinsak. Camaletto, Pavlicek and Cleaver now all involved in the fight for the lead. Can Arella show the pace that he showed at Zandvoort and just stretch this out from on Pinsak? Believe it or not, fastest man on the track at the moment, Pair 2 saw. I expect that will change after the guys sort themselves out, but no one yet to really put a clean lap in. Pinsak going very wide there, so there's one track limit he's going to have to deal with. Down through Abbey they go. Pinsak taking a lot of curb there. Look on the inside of Arella. Arella's going to have to defend here, but he doesn't. He's left it open for Pinsak here, but he'll take the outside line, which will turn to the inside here. Pinsak having to bite that sausage to make sure he missed Arella. And Arella carries that then through down the Wellington straight. So good driving there from Arella. Arella, Pinsak, Camaletto, Pavlicek and Cleaver. Gap then back to Smedegard. Pelicano hanging in there well as well. As is Leach, Civi and Tutusor. It's Ryan Leach. Anthony Pelicano just in front of him. Across from 3 laps in. Arella leads from Pinsak, Camaletto, Pavlicek, Cleaver, Smedegard, Pelicano and then this man Ryan Leach. And they've got a couple of seconds or so on Cive and Tutusor. Leach runs wide through Copso. So track warning limit for Leach as well. But Arella keeping Pinsak at bay. Up front. Fastest man on track last time round, Ralph Arella. Pinsak was quick round, but obviously track limit violation meant a lap was taken away from him. So let's see what happens again. Pinsak quick through this part of the track. Just got that grip as they go through. Don't know if that's Pinsak lagging there. Arella. Oh, he's going to have a look down the inside here again. Pinsak doesn't get it done though. Arella steps back in front of him as he's in his right to do so. But I just wonder if Pinsak's showing his hand there to Arella. How he plans to make the moves. These two putting about a second or so ahead of Camaletto and Pavlicek. Paradigm Shift boys 3rd and 4th. Decent race from Aaron Cleaver up to 5th, then from Smedegard and Pelicano. Still Dawe, Binnersley and Fillingham languish down there in 12th, 13th and 14th. I'm sure they'll have a chat after the race about what happened at the start there, but I think a lot of it was caused by a really tardy start from Radek Pavlicek. Pinsak getting it all wrong, as you can see there. So, under a bit of pressure, heavy Pinsak here by the looks of it. Starting to feel it. Out in front last time round, no one could touch him, but this time, Arella seems to have his number. 4.5 laps gone. Arella from Pinsack, Camaletto, Pavlicek and Cleaver. Those 5, 2 seconds now ahead of Smedegaard in 6th. Ryan Leach having a good race there in 7th. From Civet and Tutusaw. Oliveira up to 10th. Dawe now up to 11th. Ahead of Pelicano, who's dropped back a bit there. Benizzi Fillingham, Jazz Forsberg, Jody Barraclough, Andre Mole. Out the back again, unfortunately, for Andre. So Arella. And then through the arena section. Through the left-hand Kinker Aintree and down the straight. Leads by 2.5 seconds from Camalet and Pavlicek. Where's Pinsack gone? Should have been watching Xavi Pinsack because he's having a race of it at the moment. Really struggling. Another mistake now sees him down in 7th position. Well, he's going to have his work cut out to pull this one back. First race pretty much on the ball all the way around. Won by over 10 seconds, but uncharacteristic mistakes this time round from Pinsack. Sees him down in 7th position. He's got pace, we've seen that, but you can see already Camaletto, Pavlicek going through and exiting Beckett's just before Pinsack came into Maggot, so he's really going to have to put a bit of a shift on here. You can see again there, just dropping it into the grass on the exit of Beckett. So Pinsack rattled. But you can see second place man Camaletto easily there in distance, 5 or 6 seconds ahead, so he knows he can pull that back. Arella though might be a different story. So Arella leads Camaletto and Pavlicek. Aaron Cleaver up to 4th. Nice from the pitched up UK guys there. Ryan Leach in 6th. Be splitting those. Smedegaard in 5th. And then Xavi Pinsack, winner of race 1, down here in 7th. And to continue that story, David Dawe finished 3rd. He finished 3rd in race 1. Camaletto, Arella, Dawe 4th. My bad. Struggling down there 11th. Fillingham and Binnersley 13th and 14th, who started well up on the grid. So there'll be a few heads shaking in the pit lane and in the cars at the moment. Pinsack tries to close down Ryan Leach, but still not really able to find the pace he had in race 1. Fastest lap of the race so far though, a 2:02.1 this time round for Pinsack. So remember we did a 2:01.6 in qualifying, so the half a second off qualifying pace is not to be sniffed at whatsoever. Mistake from Camaletto. Oh, and there you go, you see again. Same place for Pinsack, really struggling. And that's allowed... In fact, no, he keeps 7th place. Yeah, a few track limit violations coming his way, so Pinsack really going to have to struggle to get some points back here. Meanwhile, over up the field, Radek Pavlicek past Camaletto after a mistake from Jack. Arella out and away, 4 seconds ahead now of Pavlicek and Camaletto. Good to see Aaron Cleaver there in 4th having a good race. Pavlicek wide through there though, pulls it back around the hairpin. Kicks up. So, oh, and he just got too many. Oh, and Radek just loses it on the dirt there. Gets it back onto the tarmac to give him some good drive. But that just shows you how easy it is to lose these cars. One wheel on the dirt from Pavlicek in second. And the rear end just said thank you very much. Round it came, and Pavlicek sees himself now right the way down behind Dawe, Per Tutusor, in what will turn out to be 10th place, I should imagine. And also Cleaver's had a bit of an issue as well. He's down in 7th now. Ryan Leach up to 4th. Smedegard up to 3rd. Wow, all chopping and changing. Marella leads 4.5 seconds now ahead of Jack Camaletto. He's 2 seconds ahead of Smedegard. He's got Ryan Leach. Wow, 15 minutes gone already. So there's Smedegard's view. Let's see Ryan Leach's view of Smedegard's car. There we go. Both of them out wide through there. So come down through Abbey, just bleed the speed off through there. Leach really working Smedegard here. And he just gets a tyre on the grass, but manages to make it through. Smedegard on the outside though, looking to hold it, as that's Xavi Pinsack making his way through. He's back up to 4th and about to go 3rd already as Leach struggles back onto the track and comes out ahead there of Pinsack. I don't know how he managed that. So he's done about half a mile more. Pinsack though threw up on the inside to go through Brooklands. Smedegard looking on the outside as they go around Luffield. Pinsack somehow back up to 3rd position. As the field struggles around here. So Arena leads from Camaletto, 4.5 seconds between those guys, and then another 4.5 seconds back to Xavi Pinsack in 3rd, who can't believe his luck to find himself back on the podium already after a few errors, has to be said. Ryan Leach now in 4th from Smedegard. Cleaver back there in 6th after he's had his errors. Dawe finds himself now in 7th from Tutusor. We saw what happened to Pavlicek, that really unfortunate incident. One wheel on the... there goes Pinsack again, cutting the grass. But unlike Radek, stays pointing the same way. Bernat Sive in 10th there. Pelicano 11th after his issues. Finnisley, Finnegan and Binnersley. God, there's a love child, Finnisley. Down there in 12th and 13th. Oliveira struggling there in 14th. Remember, he put on some good race pace in race 1, but he's still down there in 14th. Just Forsberg in 15th, with Andre Mole biting at his tail. Let's go and have a look at the back markers. Forsberg and Mole, old friends. Barra Clough just behind there. You can see the 2 Martini cars. Unfortunately, bringing up the rear of the field. Not doing justice to the livery. Looks pretty hairy up there though between Finningham, Binnersley, Oliveira and Pelicano. In fact, let's kind of have a look at that race. That looked pretty tasty, didn't it? So that's Anthony Pelicano ahead of Simon Finningham. Not far behind him, Rick Binnersley in that orange Jägermeister car. And then Pinsack's teammate Mark Oliveira back there in 14th place. Almeida de Kaiser must be kicking himself that he's, well, at least he's missed the second race here, because I'm pretty sure there are good points on offer here. Pelicano just showed Fillingham a bit of grass there, I think he did. So Fillingham went wide as he went through Cops, and it's just and get out the throttle a little bit and put him behind for Binnersley now. So Pelicano, Binnersley, Fillingham, Oliveira. And they come down the down the hanger straight. Right, front of Rella still leads Camiletto by 4.5 seconds. Pinsack there in third, 4 seconds behind Camiletto. He's putting a bit of pressure from Ryan Leach for some time, but just starting to pull away from Ryan in fourth. Schmedegaard there in fifth. He's keeping Ryan busy. Dawe up to sixth after the disastrous start he had. So a bit of a good recovery drive from Dawe there. And Cleaver once in fourth, now in seventh after his mistake. And obviously we saw Pavlicek in second place at one stage. Just lost it at this part of the track as he just exited this part, and you can just see there, went wide there, but one of the rear tyres on the grass, applied the throttle, and suddenly his life went to a Wurlitzer. Recovered it well, didn't hit anything fortunately, managed to keep the car in one piece, but lost about 7 or 8 places in the process. Oh, been is he lucky there not to suffer the same fate as Pavlicek. Feel pretty well strung out, about a second at least between them all, apart from this battle you're watching. Pelicano, Binnersley and Fillingham. Just in front of these, Civet and Tutusor. Teammates keeping himself honest up there. You can just see him going through the chicane now. Pelicano, different line through there. That's going to cost him on his exit. I don't think Binnersley has got the pace to get through and past him here. Binnersley, or just takes the exit there as he got it wrong on the grass. He's going to go all the way along that tarmac and join the track back down here. So after stealing that place from Fillingham, on the last lap finds himself now behind Fillingham. These four up front, Schmedegaard and Leach, having a good old battle for fourth position. Stop UK, Ryan Leach, that lovely BWT liveried car there, sits in fourth. Looks like Pinsack again taking some grass as he went through in third, just ahead of them. Leach again doing the same thing. And saved himself in a bit of landscaping this weekend, Silverstone. He certainly won't need the grass cutting for some time. These guys doing an excellent job with their 911 lawnmowers. Gap out front, still consistent, 4.5 seconds ahead to Camiletto. Pinsack closing the gap to Camiletto very slightly, but still 3 seconds, and there's only 6 minutes to go. This second race has absolutely flown by. But Leach still leads Schmedegaard. Let's go and have a look at that Pelicano battle again. Those four back at it again. Pelicano, Fillingham, Binnersley And Benazir again gets it wrong. Rick pins it easy. And so the phrase goes. And Oliveira, we've lost him somewhere at the back there. Where's Mark Oliveira? He was on the back of Binnersley. And now he's slipped back towards Andre Mole back there. So I don't know if Rick's off-track incident there put Oliveira off. It looks like one of the guys had another one there. But Binnersley goes through. Oliveira goes through. And Pellicano still battling with Fillingham. Pinsack took a second out of Camaletto on that last lap. You can see the gap now down to 2 seconds. And I think that was a slight mistake from Jack, as the gap to Ralph Ferreira up front has gone on to 5 seconds. And all of a sudden, Pinsack interested. Carno from Fillingham. Teammates Tutu Shaw and Sive in front of these guys in 9th and 10th. Fillingham asking that car to do things I don't think it was designed to do, but the engine's hold on in there. Tyres obviously well pressurised. Really took a change of direction very well there. Leach has still got Smedegard all at the back of him, but now look who's joined the party. There is Smedegard, there's Leach, and look who's behind him. David Dawe's crawled his way all the way back up and suddenly sees a 4th position on the cards after a disastrous start at swim, all the way back down there in 13th place. This could be a fantastic recovery drive from David Dawe. Smedegard will take the inside here. Dawe will take the switchback to try and get a good run down Wellington Straight. Pinsack 1.3 behind Camaletto now. When that gets down to something interesting, we'll jump to that battle there. But for now, Leach, Smedegard and Dawe go at it for 4th place. Smedegard seems to be struggling with his tyres on that 11 GT3 Cup car. And he gets it wrong coming out of Luffield there through Woodcote. Just put a tyre on the grass. Dawe now up to 5th. Next target, Ryan Leach. Leach has driven pretty immaculate race so far, got to be said. But Dawe really on a charge here. Tidy through there. Down they come down the Hanger Straight. Leach, Dawe, Smedegard. 4 seconds or so back to Cleaver. There he goes, with Pavlicek just behind him. Radek looking to make up as many places as he can after what was really a very unfortunate error. Saw him lose more places than it probably deserved. Up front, 5.5 Arella to Camaletto. Dawe runs wide there on the exit of... It was Club, wasn't it? Yeah. I just remember Club Corner being completely different to that, but there you go. Showing my age. So this time, Dawe looking to set Leach up as Leach takes that sideways. Dawe keeping his wheels pointing all in the same direction. Can he put Leach under some kind of pressure, as he did with Smedegard? Good drive from Leach though. And then they go to Brooklands. Similar lines, although Leach struggling to get that Porsche stopped.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give me the final push.
Wow, that went really quick. Final lap. Pinsack 8/10 behind Camaletto. Dawe 2/10 behind Ryan Leach. Which battle do you want to watch? Heads or tails? See if the helicam shot gives us both. Unfortunately, 6.5 seconds between them. It doesn't. It looks like Ryan's through there. Okay, let's go and have a look at Camaletto and Pinsack further up. A bit more of a gap between those two than Leach and Dawe. Meanwhile, out in front of Rella, 6 seconds ahead of Camaletto. Dawe looks up the inside as they go down towards the chicane. Nice driving from Dawe there through Stowe. As a look at Leach as they go into the chicane. Ryan not playing that game though. So there they go. Nice driving there as they go through club. Again, Dawe runs out wide, as does Schmedegaard behind. Ryan Leach holding his own here, as is Camaletto against Pinsack, to be fair. It's David Dawe. Which way is he going to go as they come down to Village through the hairpin? Dawe, quick squirt on the throttle there, but Ryan Leach away and gone. Camaletto and Pinsack, half a second between those two as they go through Brooklands. Pinsack again trying too hard, getting it wrong. That's going to be second place virtually guaranteed for Camaletto, but the winner of race 2, as he was over at Zandvoort, Ralph Ravella, comes home to win race 2. Second place will go to Jack Camaletto once again. Third place there, Xavi Pinsack. Leach and Dawe are going to come over 4th, 5th, and Schmedegaard for 6th. Good racing from everybody. Ryan Cleaver's just going to lead Pavlicek across the line for 7th and 8th. Teammates Cive. In fact, where has Tutusor gone? Cive comes home for 9th. Pelicano. Oh, and Fillingham's got ahead of Pelicano there for 10th. Pelicano 11th. Benazzi 12th. Oliveira comes home behind him in 13th. There's Per Tutusor, comes home in 14th. Mole 15th. And then Barraclough and Jazz Forsberg fighting it out for the honour of the wooden spoon. And that goes to Jazz Forsberg, just beaten home by Jody Barraclough. So there we go. Ralph Ravella takes race 2 with a pretty much sublime performance, as he was in race 1 really, but Pinsack in race 1 just ran away with it, but made too many mistakes in race 2. That pushed him down to 3rd on the podium, but he was a lot further back than that during the race. A few little tiny mistakes from Camaletto just took the fight away from Arella, but was still good enough for 2nd place on the grid. So Pinsack in 3rd. Ryan Leach, great drive from him in 4th. Good to see Ryan have a decent result. He's struggled for a few incidents, not of his own making, in the first few races of the season. So good to see Ryan there in 4th. David Dawe, fantastic comeback from David. Just couldn't get back Leach, couldn't get past Leach rather there at the end. Has to settle for 5th. Good to see Magnus Schmedegaard putting a decent performance here in 6th as well. Aaron Cleaver swapped places with his teammate Ryan Leach. He was at 4th in one point. Mistake from him dropped him back to 7th. We saw the mistake from Radek that pushed him down to 8th, but held on to that well. Cive in 9th. The Fillingham Pelicano Binnesley battle ended in that order, with Simon Fillingham just getting the better of Anthony Pelicano there at the end. Rick Binnesley in 12th. Pinsack's teammate there, Oliveira, down in 13th. Tutusor, Bernard Cive's teammate, back there in 14th. Andre Mole and Jody Barraclough, Strive Motorsport, coming home there in 15th and 16th. And a nice introduction to Seto Corsa Competizione for Jazz Forsberg. Been out of action for some time, but good to see him back in the seat and back in the cockpit, and finishing the race there. Not too far off the back either, so well done, Jazz. So there we go. That was an exciting hour and a bit, wasn't it? That second race absolutely flew by. Half an hour in the beat of a drum. Remember guys, if you haven't given us a like already, we would really appreciate a thumbs up on the video. If not for my performance, then for the drivers, because they were absolutely epic today. And remember, give us a subscribe as well if you haven't already, and click the bell so you know to come back to us each time we have a live stream. I've actually got a bit of a sweat on. I mean, God knows what those guys are like. Let's have a quick look at what we've got in the Discord chat after that. Not many comments coming through because I think they're all knackered. Really is a car that takes it out of people. I think most of the comments about the weather, to be honest. I say it's rained all week. And then down here at Silverstone for the race weekend, and we didn't see a drop. Dry for both races. Saw Xavi Pinsack win at race 1 and Ralph Arella win race 2. Camaletto taking podium spots in both races. As indeed did Xavi Pinsack and Ralph Arella, yeah. So those three reverse places, but got a few bottles of champagne to share with their teams. Ryan Leach there in 4th. Like I said, the Pit Stop UK guys had a bit of bad luck in the first few races. Showed a bit of form there at Zandvoort, but this is more like it. 4th place for Ryan. Could have been a little bit better for Aaron had he kept it on the track. He finished down there in 7th. Team 77 though, I think coming out of that one slightly better. Obviously Pavlicek's recovery there to 8th would have helped him. And Arella and Fillingham 1st and 10th. So just a slight pull away from both races there for Paradigm Shift. And Team 77 not got it all to do, but certainly really got a fight in their hands in the team championship. Just wait to see if anyone jumps in the chat. The drivers want to share their story. Again, don't forget the RR Leaderboard, our special hot lapping event. New one starts tomorrow. Don't forget to check the website out for details on what that challenge is going to be. First car choice challenge, so we're just interested in the quickest time in this class of car around the circuit of choice. Not your choice, our choice. For the chance to win some race room VRP points there, but more, let's be honest, more for pride. There goes Assetto Corsa. So let's just find something. Get rid of that. Give ourselves some corporate identity. I'll give it a couple more minutes just to see if anyone jumps into chat. We saw Jack come in last time, so we'll hang on just in case he wants to drop in. Just on the admin front, don't forget on Sunday we've got the Crew Chief Championship, the DTM 92 cars. Not much more to say about those, but if you've been watching the championship along, I'm sure you'll be looking forward to Sunday. 2 sprint races around the Hungaroring after last week's marathon around the Mid-Ohio circuit. All of them sandbagging over their tyres. Virtually all of them managed to make it work, apart from the poor Cy Fillingham who had to come in and change tyres halfway through the race. They all sold him a dummy and went on to complete the race on their original set, so none of that this time round. 2 sprint races from Hungaroring. Clive Britton looking to extend his lead in the championship and possibly even take his first Gold Cup next weekend, so watch out for that on Sunday. And then a week Sunday we've got the FRX 90 cars, round 5 in that championship as that draws to a close. One more round to go after that one, and then obviously in a fortnight's time. Join us back in the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars as this championship continues from round 5. Well, it doesn't look like we've got any drivers that are willing to spill the beans. Probably either too knackered. In fact, I was going to say too knackered or too embarrassed, but I've got to be honest, I don't think anyone that drove in that race today should be embarrassed with their performance. Everyone from Pinsack, Camaretto, Arella, all the way down the field, down to Jazz Forsberg, Mole, Binnersley. No, not Binnersley. Binnersley had a decent race, didn't he? Who else was down there? Jody Barrowclough. Everyone put in a really decent performance today. And good racing, good to watch. So, as always, our league's really put in a decent performance. Anyway, it doesn't look like the drivers are coming, so we'll close the stream down. Thanks, as always, for coming along. And remember, join us on Sunday for that Crew Chief Championship race from Hungaroring. So, all said and done. Look after yourselves, guys and girls. Take care. It's still a dangerous world out there, so yeah, keep yourself safe, and hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. Take care. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.